Hi, everyone. I'm Brad Free. This is the SoCal Report, sponsored by Pechanga Resort and Casino. And this is the preview section. It's the biggest day of the meet. One of the biggest days of the meet. Pacific Classic Day, Saturday, August 19th at Del Mar, and an outstanding card with 3 graded stakes races and a hot 2-year-old filly race that kicks off the Pick Six. So let's go ahead and preview some of the top races on Saturday, and then we'll mention at the end of the segment a good turf mile that will be run at Del Mar on Sunday. Okay, the Pick Six begins in race number 6. It's an 11-race card, and Saturday might be the only day where it actually makes sense to play the Pick Six. The Pick Six has been virtually ruined by virtue of this single-ticket jackpot, which raises the effective takeout rate to approximately 35%. But Saturday is mandatory payout day in the Pick Six. So regardless of how much money is in the pool, single ticket jackpot or whatever, the entire pool will be paid out on Saturday. And there's a single in the very first leg, and her name is Typhosha. Number 6, Typhosha, is the 5-2 favorite on the morning line. She's making the 3rd start of her career. She actually ran a winning race in her first 2 starts. Runner-up to Surrender Now, first time out. Surrender Now came back to win the Landaloose. And second time out, Typhosha on opening day finished second behind just a smidge, while nearly 8 lengths clear of third. This is an interesting race because this will validate or invalidate the form of Just a Smidge, who we expect to see September 2nd in the Del Mar debutante facing Sorrento Stakes winner Spectator. So if Typhosha wins, like I think she will, that's going to make Just a Smidge look a little bit better going into the debutante. But meanwhile, race number 6 at Del Mar on Saturday, it's a single to start the Pick Six. Her name is Typhosha. I will be surprised if she loses this race. I'll also be surprised if she starts at odds of 5-2. I think she's going down from there. Okay, race number 7 is the Grade 2 Del Mar Handicap, a 1 3/8 on grass, and a very interesting race and a formful race of late. Favorites have won this race 7 of the last 11 years. The highest win payoff during that period of time was $11. So even though we have a field of 13 and the morning line favorite is number 11, Hunt, I would expect this race to run true to form as most Del Mar handicaps have been over the last decade or so. Now, Hunt won last time out in the Grade 2 Eddie Reed. It was a good solid win by a lightly raced this year gelding, making only the 2nd start of his career. And Hunt was able to defeat Ashley Love Sugar by 1 length. It was an okay race. The buyer speed figure came back pretty high, 104 for a 1 1/8. And they actually flew home, Hunt and Ashley Love Sugar did. However, I think there's a better horse in this race, and his name is It's in the Post. He's listed as the 4-1 second choice, I believe, on the morning line, 3rd choice on the morning line. I won't be surprised if It's in the Post actually starts favored in this race. His consistently high numbers are better, and he also has tactical speed, and he has an alibi for his most recent start. It was in the Grade 1 United Nations at Monmouth, and he got engaged in a speed duel with none other than Beach Patrol. Beach Patrol put away It's in the Post. It's in the Post faded to finish 5th. Beach Patrol came out of the United Nations to win the Arlington Million in his next start. It's in the Post is a difficult horse to ride. He has some idiosyncrasies, and when he gets revved up, he just wants to go. He got revved up in the UN, and he faded to finish 5th. Much easier spot on Saturday, and if Tyler Bays can get him to settle, sit chilly, sit quiet, settle, I think It's in the Post is a potential good thing. And I won't be surprised if he starts as the favorite in the Grade 2 Del Mar Handicap. Okay, race number 8 is the biggest one of the meet, the richest one of the meet, and the biggest question of the meet, because Arrogate laid an egg on opening weekend in the San Diego. He finished 4th as the overwhelming favorite, and his reputation as best horse in the world took a little bit of a tumble. Tough to say which Arrogate shows up on Saturday. If the same Arrogate that won the Dubai World Cup, Breeders' Cup, Pegasus shows up, he's the fastest, best horse in this race, and he will win the Pacific Classic. There is some question whether or not Arrogate likes the Del Mar surroundings and or surface as much as he likes every other surface on which he has run. So I'm going to consider Arrogate vulnerable, recognizing that if he shows up, everybody else is running for second. But there are two very good ones in this field that Arrogate will have to beat, including his stablemate and my top selection. His name is Collected, and all he did last time out in late June at Santa Anita in the Grade 3 Precisionist was sit off the pace and blow the field away by 14 lengths. Collected, that was a breakout performance by a very good son of City Zip. He's won 7 of 10, and Collected won this race by 14. He earned a 111 Beyer speed figure, a -5 on Thoroughgraph numbers. This is a fast horse, and beyond the fact that Collected is fast, he has trained sensationally all summer long at Del Mar. So I expect Collected to go out and run a big race and maybe defeat Arrogate, his stablemate, in the Grade 1 Pacific Classic. As for Accelerate, he misfired in the race that Collected won, but last time out, Accelerate put blinkers on and he dusted the field. That was in the San Diego. By the way, Accelerate has faced Arrogate twice and defeated him both times. Extenuating circumstances in both races. I understand that, but he is 2-0 against the likes of Arrogate. So Accelerate added blinkers, and he won by by more than 8 lengths with a 109 Beyer speed figure, a -1.25 on Thoroughgraph. An excellent performance by Accelerate, who is now 3 for 3 at Del Mar. Can he get a mile and a quarter? I don't know if he can or not, but we didn't know the same question about Beholder nor Shared Belief, and they won the Pacific Classic 2 of the last 3 years in their first attempt at a mile and a quarter. So Collected and Accelerate, a couple of sharp horses who do love this Del Mar racing surface. And I think that they have a chance, one or the other, to defeat Arrogate. But if the real Arrogate shows up, we're going to be in for a treat, because he is, and still is, the best horse in the world based on his 4 consecutive wins in Dubai, at Gulfstream, the Breeders' Cup Classic, and of course the Travers last summer, in which he won in a very wicked time of 59 and change. Horses don't break 2 minutes anymore for a mile and a quarter. That's what Arrogate did. Good race, the Pacific Classic. Lots of questions regarding the favorite. Okay, the deepest race on the card is race number 10. It's the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks, and there are a lot of ways to go in this race. Let's talk first about Meadow Sweet, who is my top selection at 12-1. She's a lightly raced daughter of Smart Strike out of the graded stakes winner Tranquility Lake. Meadow Sweet won a 1 other than last time out, but at the quarter pole, here's a bizarre story. At the quarter pole, she looked like she wanted to bail out of there. What happened, according to jockey Kent Desormeaux, is that Meadow Sweet caught sight of the passing train. There are train tracks adjacent to the Del Mar racetrack, and a train was passing just as Meadow Sweet was hitting the quarter pole. She took a look over at the train, and she wanted to jump on board. She was completely distracted. It looked like she was going to be completely swallowed up. Guess what? She re-rallied and refused to let a pretty good filly go by. That was Pacific Wind. A better than looked allowance win by Meadow Sweet, who has trained sensationally since then. It's a big class jump from a 1 other than into a Grade 1 against a big field. But Meadow Sweet, with that forwardly placed running style, she'll be out of trouble, and I expect her to run a big race. I also expect the Indiana Grand shipper by the name of Kathy Song to run huge in her first start for Richard Balta. She was purchased at her Horses of Racing Age sale recently. Since arriving at Del Mar, Kathy Song has trained like a beast for Baltus. Baltus's quote was, and I'll paraphrase, "I don't know if she's good enough, but she's training out of her mind." He expects Kathy Song to run super. First start for him, and if you're looking for a bomber, Kathy Song at 15-1 might be worth a play. Same thing with Meadow Sweet. The favorite in the race is Conde Partiro, whose ability around 2 turns is unestablished so far, and Dream Dancing shipping in from the East Coast for trainer Mark Cassie. But it's a good race, the Del Mar Oaks, and I like a couple of long shots, Meadow Sweet and Kathy Song, both at double-digit prices. Okay, on Sunday, a good turf mile. just to briefly go through the field, Vijack, Ohm, Balabali, Midnight Storm, Blackjack Cat, and Laken. This is an interesting race. Midnight Storm has a closers-friendly course profile to overcome. He's won 5 out of 6, but this Del Mar turf course has favored closers, and Midnight Storm does his stuff up on the front end. I think he's good enough anyway to win the race. If not, then Phil D'Amato's other horse, Vijack, making his second start back, might be able to post an upset. Okay, this has been a long segment. It's Pacific Classic Day on Saturday. We're going to see if Collected can upset Arrogate in the Pacific Classic. We'll see if Meadowsweet or Kathy Song can spring an upset in the Del Mar Oaks. It's in the post. It might be a good thing in the Del Mar Handicap. I'm Brad Free. This has been the SoCal Report, sponsored by Pechanga. Talk to you next time.